Hi there and welcome to this review of the One Way UK Daily Devotionals for the 9th through to the 13th of December. This is the last video I'm doing before the Christmas holiday. It gives me the opportunity to sit back and to reflect on how I should approach them. Should I just cover one topic? Should I actually carry on doing sort of summaries of individual topics dealt with in a week? What should I do? And I would like to hear your comments. If you watch these videos regularly, just let me know your comments. You can send them into info@onewayuk.com. Mark it for my attention, the email, and they will forward them to me. And that would really be very helpful. I look forward to reading your comments. And this week I wanted to pick up on what we read on Thursday. It doesn't sound particularly cheerful, but just hang on in there with me. It's from Luke 12:42-46. A faithful, sensible servant is one to whom the master can give the responsibility of managing his other household servants and feeding them. So this passage that Jesus is talking about is really what makes up a faithful, sensible servant. If the master returns and finds that the servant has done a good job, there will be a reward. I tell you the truth, the master will put that servant in charge of all he owns. But what if the servant thinks, my master won't be back for a while, and he begins beating the other servants, partying and getting drunk? The master will return unannounced and unexpected, and he will cut the servant in pieces and banish him with the unfaithful. As I said, not the most cheerful of passages, but extremely relevant to us, because what we're talking about here is somebody who thinks, oh, the return of Jesus is so far away, I won't even consider it. And we can add to that, and he certainly won't come over the holiday period at Christmas, will he? Well, it causes us to think. There's something that sticks in my mind is that Jesus is being very serious here. And that phrase, I'm serious, was always used to me when I'd done something wrong. I'm being serious, teachers would say. Don't do that again. And it was like underlining, emphasizing the seriousness of the terrible thing that I'd done, whatever it was. And I think with Jesus here, he's really warning us and saying, look, a faithful, sensible servant is one who does well. But things do not go well for somebody who is unfaithful. That's what it's really about. It's not just about beating up other servants, partying and getting drunk. It's about being unfaithful. And as a guide in life, we need to think, well, how are we going to have a mechanism in our heads over the Christmas period? That relative who just really exasperates us, and we might say something that we shouldn't do, and on reflection would be better left unsaid. Perhaps it could be for some people that they just have one drink too many, or one mince pie too many for that matter. So how are we going to get a simple practical guide? Well, Sheldon coined the phrase, what would Jesus do? And that's a phrase we can carry in our head. Some people carry it on wristbands and so on. It's been very popular over the past 20 odd years, apart from when Sheldon first coined the phrase. So what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do at the office party? I remember one of the first office parties I ever attended. It was in one of the first jobs I had, not the first, but one of the first jobs I had. And I remember being shocked walking in on my boss and his secretary, who were in a clinch that would have done justice to the French cinema, let alone Hollywood. And I subsequently discovered that at every Christmas party, this was their behaviour. This is what they did. Now, at one level, they were married. At another level, problem was they were married to different people. So they, what they were doing was unfaithful. That's what it was. And I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you or I will get involved in a situation like that, but it just illustrates how easily people sort of throw caution to the wind and do silly things at festive times. I have a video camera which is, it has this habit. To start it, you've just got to press the button just push it in, let it go immediately, and it starts. But to turn it off, you've got to hold that button down, and then the camera will switch off after a couple of seconds. And it just illustrates to me that it's very easy to get started in a habit, or to get started in doing something that it would be better that we didn't do, but it is harder to break it, to stop it happening. It's harder to change once we've started. Anyway, that's really all there is to be said, except, is there somebody we can copy? Yes, there is. Throughout the Bible, we're only told to copy one person, and that's God. Even Paul, when he was saying, imitate me, said, imitate me even as I imitate Christ. And in other places he would say, imitate God. That's the only person. So therefore we look to Jesus. We look at Jesus and we say, what would Jesus do in this situation? And we have a guide and a counsellor and a help who is always with us, the Holy Spirit. And the simple thing is to say, well, Holy Spirit, what? Your Lord, what do I do? How should I respond to this situation? And he will tell us, because that's what he's there for. He is our guide. He will lead us into all truth. And truth is the good thing to do. And just remember, if you get stuck in a corner, don't know what to do, just ask that question, what would Jesus do? Which only leaves me time to really say to you now, have a happy Christmas. And I mean that in the sense that I hope you'll find it is truly a blessed time, and that you will hear God during the Christmas period, and that you will really be excited about the coming year. And I pray that the coming year is a happy and prosperous one for you, and that 2014 will be very special for you, and that many of those things that are desires in your heart, that as you delight yourself in the Lord, they will come to pass next year. God bless you. And I look forward, as I said, to seeing you next year.